Matt Outlaw of 731 Woodworks put together a beginning toolkit for $1,000. The link to his video is down below. He's worth watching. He did a pretty good job, except he left Harbor Freight out of the mix. His videos are entertaining and informative, so let's do his package again, but using Harbor Freight. Let me say, and this is not a complaint against Matt, but is the way I do things. You don't have to buy the most expensive tools, but don't buy something that won't do the job or is underpowered. There is a happy medium.
Prices are based on July 2023 list prices.
Human error is almost guaranteed within this video.
Oh yeah.
This deserves a good talk about. Hello anyone, I'm Scott Payne. They called me the old farmer. Let me throw up a spreadsheet that you can do a screen grab for later reference. I've also included some blades you can use to replace the blades that come with the power saws. Let me say I am satisfied with a Hercules blade on the Hercules 12-inch miter saw, but I have included the model numbers and reference prices. This is an item that stores like to jack the prices, so wait for a sale. Matt's first pick is a tape measure. My favorite is the Johnson tape measure, 1803-25 at 1524. I like the uncluttered look and the detail. I also have a FastCap PMS-16, metric standard Pro Carpenter 16-foot tape measure. But to me, it's too busy and can have me make mistakes. Harbor Freight offers the Pittsburgh's 60408 25-foot by 1-inch quick find Duralock tape measure for $549. A good tape measure.
Deal or no deal?
I've got two Swanson speed squares. One is the 7-inch and I also have the 12-inch. I like and use them both, but Harbor Freight has one for $2.99 that will do the job. Also, they have the Pittsburgh 69099 9541 16-inch by 24-inch steel rafter square, and it has etched numbers on it for $9.99. I don't think the one that Matt's offering is etched. Stay away from ones that aren't etched because everything will rub off. He didn't mention it, but I would get a combination square too. It's easy to see if it's square by striking a line and then flipping the square over and seeing if it will line up. If it does, and it's cheap like the Pittsburgh 12-inch combination square at $7.99, grab it. I can't remember where I got mine, but it was about $5 and is straighter than an arrow. In fact, it's almost good enough for working in metals. Do the line test, then decide. Also buy a straight ruler or a yardstick that does not have a space before the zero line. The Pittsburgh 48-inch aluminum ruler 687 is a sturdy general-purpose aluminum ruler at $6.99. Some start with a 1/4 inch of spacing, then start the graduates. Don't get such a straight edge, they will frustrate you.
Deal or no deal?
I'll admit the price for the Harbor Freight Bauer impact drill and driver drill and the much better batteries and the dual charger is $50 more than the DeWalt kit suggested by Matt. The batteries are made from the same cells and are larger capacity, but wait for a sale and when they offer kits. It can come in as low as 50% off the list price. So if you can wait, do so. I must admit the first driver drill I had to take back because of a bad chuck and the circuitry wasn't working right. The replacement has worked flawlessly, as has the impact drill. There is enough juice in these batteries to do most jobs, and they're not filled with the cheap cells.
Deal or no deal?
I would recommend the Bauer corded circular saw, but it's not competitive to the skill. Until Harbor Freight drops the everyday price to match, I would say go with a skill. My circular saw was my dad's and is a Craftsman from the 60s. An important thing to understand is brush mowers have more power, but uses more energy. That's why battery tools are going brushless while plug tools are staying brushed.
Deal or no deal?
I've got the Bauer 1712EB 2.8 amp 5-inch random orbital palm sander at $39.99 and have no problems with it. It's a variable speed, but I leave it on high and is as good, if not better, than the Craftsman or the DeWalt, which are good too.
Deal or no deal?
I've got pipe clamps. I never use them and wouldn't recommend getting that half-inch version that Matt is suggesting. If you want pipe clamps, go with the 3/4 inch. I think 4 of the Bremen 48-inch parallel clamps at $44.99 each, or $179.96 for 4 from Harbor Freight will do you a better job. Matt didn't actually include pipes with his package. Basically, he can't without knowing the local prices of pipe from your area. Bremen are just better clamps with better control, and is equal to what Bessie offers in the same clamp. I've got the Irwin clamps too, and I think they're good, but Bremen's are good too. It all depends on what's on sale.
Deal or no deal? Deal or no deal?
I just did a video on the Bauer trim router from Harbor Freight. I like it. Getting started, about all you need is an edge guide, which the Bauer has. But I usually just clamp a board, if not using a template for the bit to write against. If you can afford it, build yourself a workbench top router table that just sits on top of the workbench. If you need one, Jonathan Katz-Moses has free plans. The link is below. Just shrink the dimensions to suit your needs.
Deal or no deal?
I think the Harbor Freight table saw came out of the same factory as the DeWalt. It has a rack and pinion rip guide just like the DeWalt, but it's full size. Wait for it to be on sale if you can. Remember, Harbor Freight has a simple return policy with some caveats.
If ever you're not satisfied with one of our tires, please feel free to bring it back. Thank you. Discount Tire Company.
Usually, it's just walk it through the door, get the nod, and go and get a new one. If you can save up for it, I have a 10-inch Delta table saw from Lowe's. I like it and can be strapped for $220 if you plan on using it a lot.
Deal or no deal?
You've heard talk about the Hercules 12-inch miter saw for some time. I think that shadow line for cutting is important, and the quality of the cuts on the Hercules is as good, if not better, than just about any other contractor miter saw. My feeling is if you get a good circular saw and get a track to use with it, I would go with the miter saw instead of the table saw and save your money for a Delta table saw or a Grizzly. Here is an example of a track saw system. I've never used a track saw, so I can't recommend one for you. The Bauer Wet Dry Vac has become the go-to vac, and for about $20 more, you can get a HEPA filter.
Deal or no deal?
Press the button. Press the button. I'll let you know. Press the button. You don't have to press it.
Let me wrap this up by saying each person's needs and budget are different. Matt is not wrong with his suggestions, and at the same time, mine are not perfect either. Use these suggestions as a guide to see what suits your needs. Don't forget to visit Matt's channel and tell him the old farmer sent you. Thank you for watching.
Before we go, thank you to our subscribers who helped us reach over the 1,000 subscription mark. It's very humbling to receive the support from our subscribers. Thank you. I will always try to give you accurate information, and I'm not worried if you disagree in comments. Just remember, youngsters may read your words. Well, this is the old farmer Scott Bain saying, be well, be safe, and be kind to someone today.
Don't forget to click like, subscribe, share, or ring the bell buttons on the original Old Farmer channel. We enjoy reading the comments that you leave, and they do help the channel, so keep them coming. And once again, thank you for watching the original Old Farmer.
The VFW National Home for Children, providing families of veterans and active duty military opportunities for growth and development in a nurturing community. Please consider a donation to help their children and families. I.C. Rhodes speaking.